Hi again, welcome back. I have started a bit with the front trees. Yesterday night I mixed in indigo, perylene green, and a little bit of neutral tint, because I wanted to soften the colors a bit. I didn't want them so bright. At night time, when the sun is not that bright, the trees, the foliage of the trees looks more bluish. So I tried to get that color. I will paint darker on top of this too. In watercolor you go from light to darker and darker. You can't do the opposite, as in acrylics and oil painting. It's the opposite in watercolor. Okay, I think that we start painting. Let's see. I am going to show you a way of painting with a brush. That is very good for the trees foliage. You take the paint and then you just blot it a bit. Then you hold the brush sideways. You lay the brush down and then you just do like this. That way, when you paint with especially rough paper, the paint won't go down the valleys of the paper as much as when you paint like this. And then you also change the direction of the brush to get different strokes. As I told you before, look for variety in the painting. You don't want the same brush strokes always. And when you paint the leaves of the trees like this, you keep some light between, because when you paint trees, you always start with painting the leaves like this, and afterwards you can paint the branches in between. That's why you need the light areas between. Forgot to blot. You see what happened? It was quite a bit too much of the color on the paper now. Just only because I forgot to blot. So always blot before you paint. Different brush strokes. Okay. Indigo, perylene green, and a little bit of neutral tint. If you didn't hear that, that's the colors I use. This is a little bit more of the perylene I'm putting on top, because now I have the other colors in the bottom. See, I just paint a little bit on top to get it darker. In watercolor you can paint many layers of paint before you're ready. It's not just one layer. When you layer like this, you get a more real look at the, get more depth in the painting. You can also do like this, just drop in the color when the pigment is wet if you want it even darker. So the pigment spread in the wet surface. Just drop it in with a point of the brush. I am a slow painter. That's why I make these short videos. Instead I make several of them. And then you can decide if you want to look at all the videos at once or just one or two while painting. You see, you get more depth in the painting when you have put on the second layer. Well, sometimes when you paint, you get blind. You don't see the painting clear. You look at it for a long time and very close. Take a step backwards and look at the painting before you have made too much. You can overwork the painting and it's difficult to fix it. With watercolor it's easy, with oil or acrylic. Or you can, when you think you finish with a painting or an area of the painting, you can put it aside. Don't look at the painting for a couple of days, week. Then you look at it with fresh eyes after those days. I think I'm going to mix a little bit more color. Indigo. Some perlin green. and some neutral tint. And you can have a paper, have a big paper. Just check the color on the paper, always do that, otherwise you spoil your painting. I think that is okay, okay? Blot. Leave some of the lighter areas so that you don't put all the darker colors on top of everything that is light. You want depth, right? You want to see both the lighter areas and the dark ones. Okay. And by every layer of paint you put, if you use the same mixture of paint, by every layer you put on top, the color looks darker. So you don't need to make a darker mixture. As it is painted in several layers, it gets darker and darker for every layer. That's because of the transparency of the watercolor as a medium. I think I will paint that side now. Sometimes I forget to blot. Oh, I gotta tell you, I bought a new holder for my mobile phone. It's a lot better than the other one I had before. Next buy I will do is for a microphone. So the sound will get a little bit better. Now it's the sound from the mobile phone, the mic, the mobile phone. I am thinking about getting those tiny ones, mosquito ones they call it. Let's see what I can find. Just a tiny tree there. I want the light to come through. You see, I paint one layer more on top and it gets darker. Even if I haven't mixed another pigment, another color. More layers of the pigment means darker color. This looks really nice, this tree. When you paint watercolor art, you learn more about the mistakes. More from the mistakes than you make from the successful paintings. And you will always make mistakes with watercolor. I can call it a hate-love painting watercolor. And all the paintings usually have ugly stages. Go on paint after the ugly stages. Many times you can fix it. And they still look beautiful after a while when you're finished. Sometimes you have to throw it away or use the backside of the painting. But I find that intriguing, that the painting watercolor is difficult. You get happy when you succeed, when you know it is a very difficult medium. If it would be very easy, it wouldn't be that intriguing. Not for me anyway. They say that it is the hardest, most difficult medium to master. That's watercolor. Oops. Okay, I think a little bit more color on top of this bush, a small tree. Vary how you hold your brush to get variety in the trees. To paint, whatever medium you paint, it's very good. It's mindfulness. You forget the time and everything around you. Sometimes you need that. It's a stressful world we're living in. Need mindfulness sometimes. When I'm outside having a walk in the nature, I take a lot of photos and keep it. And then when I'm painting, I can take a small part of that photo and use it for my paintings. I don't usually use the whole photo, but I can use small parts of it and compose a painting of my own from several different photos. See, I go back and paint some more. These trees have been drying, so I can go on painting there. Some more. Indigo, Berlin green. See, I milk the brush so that the pigments drop on the plate. That way I don't throw away too much, waste too much paint. Indigo. You see my small palette here? Actually, I bought it to have it as a travel palette, but I think it comes in handy well when I'm painting, because it doesn't take so much space. That way it's easier for you to see when I mix the colors. I think that looks a bit too blue. More Perlin green in that. When you buy watercolor for the first time, when you want to start your watercolor journey, you can buy, you need the primer colors yellow, red and blue first. From each primer color, buy one cool color and one warm color. And then you need a couple of neutrals. Burnt sienna and neutral tint is very good. You can mix a lot with them. Let's see if that is looking good. About the same. Plot. If you mix the pigments, you mix cool colors and then you put in the warm colors inside of another primary, then you dull the pigments down. They don't look that sharp anymore. You can use that as a technique, but sometimes you want to have very clear colors, And it's better to use, for instance, only cool colors in the same mixture. And don't mix too many colors together, because then you get mud. It looks like mud. It's not that pure and clean anymore. And in a painting you need contrast, you need the darks, really darks, to get the light in the painting. You need contrast. In the beginning, when you start painting, it's very common to paint with too little contrast, as if you are afraid of putting more color on it. But the painting needs contrast, it needs darks to get the lights show. In this painting, when we're ready here with the trees, I will make some reflections. Now it looks very empty, but I will have reflections from the trees here as well. The lighter greens, blue-greens you see in the trees here, they are more far away than this. This is closer, the darkest. Remember to turn the brush, sometimes to vary your brush strokes. I want some of the trees to, the faraway trees, the distant trees, to show, so I'd only paint a smaller tree or bush here around the sun, because I want the sun to shine through so that the water gets light. Plus there is a variety in the painting. All the trees are not the same all through the painting. You see here, I've tried to make real larks here. In this tree. This way, when you paint with the brush lying down like this, it's called dry brush. Dry brush technique. You see how I keep it a little bit lighter beside the sun. I will paint some warmer leaves as well, closest to the sun. to change paper to clean one. Okay, I will take some burnt sienna. Blot. Don't want too much now. Very light on the hand. Very, very light. And don't fill up the whole paper, just light, because I want the sun to be able to shine through. When you got less pigments in the brush, you can press a little harder to get the pigments out from the brush. I want some of that as well. Easy, easy. If you get too much pigment, you can always blot with the paper on the surface where you paint. See, I just press a little bit. Just a little bit. Just lay it down and press gently. And if it gets dry, you can always put some water on top and then press. Water on top and then press. You lift the color a bit. These cat hairs are everywhere. More paint. colors. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. Then we continue in the next video. Okay, thank you for this video. Bye bye.